So Indie Week is basically an organisation set up in Canada, like that's on about promoting independent artists and kind of getting them to a stage where they can be picked up by labels. But it's kind of about like teaching bands how to do it themselves, so that they don't need a manager, like, you know, to make it fully an indie thing, a fully independent thing, like, you know. We got an email from Amanda just asking us would we like to be a showcase band and head over and play at our own cost, of course. And like at this stage we hadn't even played outside Limerick and we were being invited to go up to Canada, so we were like, yeah, absolutely, like, you know. But like looking into the site, we saw that there was a competition, but we weren't sure whether we were in it or not, so we asked, and then like we were told that there was a slot, and we were like, why the hell not? We were going up and ended up winning, like, you know. It was just outrageous. On the competition as well, like it wasn't just an Ireland thing, like there were bands from all over Europe, like there were bands from Italy, bands from Poland, bands from Austria.
It was just a great night, like the bands we played with, as he said, were great, like, and it was just, you know, it was a brilliant night, and then at the end of it all we ended up winning, like, so that was the start of it.
First thing I say about Toronto is the coffee is amazing.
Prepare
to be very strung out when you come home as well.
Yeah.
Very, very strung out. So try and stash a few in your suitcase if you can.
So on Monday the 8th of October we arrived in Canada. We stayed up all night the night before. It was a very long night, like sleeping in airports and stuff like that. And we arrived, jumped in a taxi and got to our hotel where the Indie Week crowd had set up for us.
The cab into the city was just unbelievable, like, you know. This was just mind blowing, like, you know, the jet lag kind of instantly just went just inside of it, like, you know. Typical tourists sticking their head out the cab like, oh my god. Everywhere we went it was just breathtaking. Yeah, so that night we went to a bar called Chosky's, and that's where we met Darryl and the boys from the Suburbians were there as well, the guys that won Indie Week the year prior to us. So they just kind of met us to say hi, had one or two beers, and just kind of said, alright, you're playing in the Hideout now tomorrow night, and just kind of gave us a bit of a rundown of the week of what we were doing, like, you know.
Yeah, we went to the Gibson showroom and we were left in. We were greeted by some very nice people and a very lovely dog called Kirby. And then we went in and we got to pick out our guitars, and as you can imagine, being in a band, it was like letting a lot of children loose in a sweet shop or a toy shop or whatever kind of shop you want.
You can play with any toy you like.
Except that one over there. That's alright. It was good, it was great. Like,
we went to Queen Street to the Hideout where our first gig was on, and when we got there, they were just kind of setting up the gig, but like even for nearly every venue, like the Indie Week crowd, they had about 15-20 volunteers for every venue, like, so everything was catered.
It was run very well.
Really well.
It was a real kind of a real eye opener for us, like, you know. Again, we were kind of plucked up and then dropped into the midst of it all, like, and then suddenly you're there and you have a minute-long sound check and the sound's the best you've ever heard. Like, you know? It's like guitar, clean, okay, overdrive, done, okay, you're done.
Like it went well. It went well playing the first night. But we were obviously jet lagged, so our voices were tired. It looked a little bit shabby.
Actually, we were kind of a crossroads. You want to go sleep and you want to play it. You can't keep up at the same time.
Wobbly. Actually fell asleep on my guitar before we played.
Downstairs.
Fell asleep like that, like.
That was the third.
Going on.
We got such a great reception, like, you know, kind of it's a great start to the week.
They knew what we were about.
We just had big smiles on our faces anyway, and kind of did half the battle.
6 lads.
6 boobies.
6 boobies.
It's great.
The El Macambo was the second gig we played, and it's a fairly reputable venue in Toronto. Some big names. Glenn there will tell you a few names.
Who was the gig? Blondie.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. Who else? The Rolling Stones. There was a few big names played there. So even just to be told that we were going playing in this place, like, was amazing. We got to meet loads of cool people from all over the world. Like, talking to them, they were all there doing their thing the same as us.
Wesley James,
DJ from Sublime.
LD from Sublime.
Your man from the
Sex Pistols, Glenn Matlock.
Hey, borrowed your guitar.
My guitar.
After that night, I think it was straight to bed after that gig. Pretty much everybody was fairly wiped out. Like.
Oh shit,
Well rested with her, and I really went for it. Like,
You went down
really
with her.
exceptions as well. Like.
And people were talking about us. I think that
Yeah,
was
there
the
was
thing
lots
that
of
really
tweets
kept
and
us going, was that there was word going around Toronto and around Indie Week.
Yeah.
That,
Even when we
you know,
got there, remember, it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, what band are you? And we're like, oh, Leading Armies. Like, oh, I've heard of you before. Like, what?
It was
We've just got here. How
So
could you
that-
possibly
yeah,
know
yeah.
who we are?
like we kind of realised the importance of social media over there, like with Facebook and Twitter, like 'cause we didn't use the Twitter at all. Like we didn't kind of understand the power of it. Like, you know, when we got back home, we saw that there was like 200 tweets, like to us, like from other people, like people who has like 300,000 followers. Like, you know, it was insane. So like we ended up getting a fan base fairly fast, kind of out of nowhere, like just due to that. Like, and I think on that Hideout gig it was like we were on about 11:30, maybe 12, but it was a full house.
We got an unbelievable reception as well. There was just people all over the place, dancing, freaking out,
Yeah.
like, you know. We didn't
Girls
expect.
got on stage one
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah, there was girls jumping up on the stage, dancing in front of us. It was crazy, like, so, you know,
Attack the sweaty man. Let's
Well,
go.
we were named the sweaty Irish Rockers.
Yeah.
That was probably my fault.
As far as gigs go, I think it's definitely one of my all-time favorites. Like, you know, it was just.
sound was great, the lighting was great,
Yeah.
the crowd was great.
to be able to look over a full crowd in another country where you've never been
Yeah.
before and to see a full crowd, everyone looking
People
at you,
smiling back at you. like,
enjoying it, like, it's one of the best feelings you'll ever get, like, you know.
without meaning freedom, but that's
The after party in the Bovine Sex Club, which was this like this kind of famous punk and heavy metal band like Metallica, and all the boys go drinking there when they were down in Toronto and stuff. But so we were just there, just again, it was another night of getting loads of drink. They were giving out tattoos, and they were not giving out tattoos, they were tattooing people. So I was very drunk, and yeah, I
Mike got a tattoo.
I got a tattoo.
Get it out,
Pig.
Get it out.
Like, you know.
Oh, very nice sock.
It's the best day of my life. Waking up and realising I have a tattoo of a small pig in my
Tuesday, was it?
Yeah.
Obviously, Revolution Road Studios. I have to say, to date, that's one of the best experiences in music I've had. Like, because it was an unbelievable studio. And straight away when we came in, we just clicked straight away with them. It was so easy to work with them. They just asked us what we wanted to do, and we told them, and it was perfect. And they worked around us more than we worked around them. You know.
Anything. It was the most professionally run kind of thing I've ever seen to do with music. Personally, like it was just amazing.
Yeah, like it was such a weird thing kind of walking in there first, because when you walk in there, it's kind of like you're literally like watching like some famous band on YouTube in the studio. It was just that place. Like Rush recorded their last album there. Was it they had an old Neve sound desk that was kind of
In our RCA studios.
that was in
or something.
RCA Studios, that like was rebuilt in the studio by Steve for like he spent like 3 years working on it, and just this beautiful like massive analog desk, and it was just the whole.
So fancy, like, sitting down in a leather chair.
Yeah.
Like, God, this is
Listening to
ridiculously
beautiful,
big.
yeah.
Drinking
expensive.
water with a slice of lime.
Daryl kind of gave us a bit of a chat, like, you know, just a bit of a routine, a few suggestions of what we should do.
Yeah,
like,
that was
you know.
another really good thing about
Yeah.
it. Like, you know, Daryl was always there to give us advice and like to show us like what you can do. That you things you wouldn't like. That sound obvious when you hear them, but if you never thought of them before, you wouldn't never think of them.
Yeah.
Sit you down and kind of go. This is kind of a plan that you could have. Like, it'll help you to progress as a band. You know? So if you can, if you win the competition, like you get to fly to Canada, meet amazing people, meet famous people, like, you know, and talk to them about their experiences, what they've done, how they've got to where they are, and play their music in front of completely different people that you'll never meet again, probably, unless you go back, of course. Like, but you know, just to be there and play your music that you've written for other people, and them to appreciate it so much, like, is an amazing feeling.
broken pavement to hell.
Indie Week in a nutshell for me is that like it'll open the door a little bit for you, like, you know. It'll kind of show you what you can achieve if you put in the work. It'll give you a little bit of a push. Maybe just try this, try that. Like, it kind of just gives you all the ingredients. Like, you know.
We just like to thank everyone involved in Indie Week, everyone who helped us, our mates who came over, everyone who supported us over the last
doing the videos.
Brinky video.
Just a big
YouTube.
one love from Leading Armies.
Yeah.
One love.